This live sports presentation is proudly brought to you by Enjoy Snacks, IBEW Local 1186 and its unionized electrical contractors, and Hawaii Honda dealers. This is HHSAA Soccer. Baldwin versus Punahou. Extra school spirit and personal pride all on display. Spectrum X-Cast begins right now.
Well, it's semifinal night at the Queens Medical Center Boys State Soccer Championships. One spot already booked into the D1 final. It's the Hawaii Prep Kamakani. They await the winner of this one. It's semifinal number 2, the 4-seeded Baldwin Bears taking on 20-time state champ and the top seed in 2018, the Punahou Buff and Blue. Along with Brett Murakami, Jordan Helliot with you up in the broadcast booth. Jimmy Bender coming up in just a second. A look at the picture up to this point. Hawaii Prep is through to the final. They await the winner of this one, 7 p.m. Spectrum OC 16 coming up tomorrow night. Punahou, Baldwin, both one win to get into this semifinal. Buff and Blue last night 3-0 over Mililani. Baldwin early yesterday afternoon 2-0 over Kapolei. Looking at this matchup between the Bears and Buff and Blue, Punahou the prohibitive favorite, right? They are the mainstay in this Final Four with 3 teams trying to break into their first ever state championship match. Baldwin trying to make it an all-neighbor island state final, but the task is tough against this Punahou squad.
Yeah, and this is a rematch of 4 years ago. Baldwin versus Punahou in the semifinals, where Punahou went on to win 3-0. You know, so Baldwin has been kind of flirting around the semifinals the last few years, so would this be their breakthrough year, or Punahou back into a state championship match again?
I look at this matchup and the players to watch. Baldwin, a lot of technical class, and maybe nobody better on the ball than Angelo Deloso-Flocco.
Yeah, and a senior, you know, he's been in the semis, he's been in the quarterfinals. Look for him to get around the ball, very flashy with the ball, very composed in tight spaces. Look for him to connect, get given goals, or get shots on goal as well. He leads the team with 5 goals.
Baldwin knows they are going to need to find that breakthrough goal like they did early second half yesterday against Kapolei. The task, though, is a hard one against this Punahou defense, and Ian Withyberry is as good in the state. Just 7 goals allowed all season.
Yeah, and Ian Withyberry was huge last year in the state championships. You know, he just kind of flourished, and he's a senior. I'm sure he wants to go out with a bang. You know, just letting in 7 goals this year with 3 coming in one game, so they've really limited the amount of goals that they've let in this year.
We'll step away, check in with Jimmy Bender when we return. Semifinal number 2 on tap. It is Punahou and Baldwin with a spot in the D1 state final on the line. New City Nissan is Hawaii's premier Nissan dealer and a proud sponsor of high school athletics. Visit them online at www.newcitynissan.com. New City Nissan in Kalihi. And the New City Nissan Field Report, Jimmy Bender standing by. Jimmy, take it away.
Hey, thanks a lot, Jordan and Brent. Talked to both of the coaches before this matchup to find out what the keys are for them. On the Baldwin side, Coach Kane told me we need to eliminate time and space. And no, he's not talking about like a back-to-the-future space-time continuum thing. He just means time that Punahou has the ball and the space that they're allowed to move with that ball. That's key for them, as well as their game plan, which is possession when they have the ball on offense. Over on the Punahou side, what Coach David told me is we need to control the midfield. He said they had some nervous moments last night with that midfield, balls getting played over the top. He said we really need to lock that down. Also, he said he's looking for a lot of his extra guys, not the star players, the extra guys to step up. Said he gave a speech to all of them, like any of you guys tonight could do something big, and he's counting on them. That's it from here on the field, guys. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Jimmy. Nobody deeper in the state than Punahou, but this is the starting 11 Baldwin is putting out there, brought to you by Zippies for head coach Kane Palazado in his 15th year already in charge of this Baldwin program. Elliot Tom starts in goal. Angelo Deloso-Flocco, we mentioned, will play on the wing. Daniel Souza in the center of midfield, the guy to keep your eye on as well. Hayden Hawes, the rock at center back. On the other side for Punahou, Coach Trifanovic isn't joking around. They really have about 20-plus guys that could contribute at any moment in this match, but this is the first 11 that he will put out there with Ian Withyberry in goal. Johnny Dodge has been outstanding. Michael Williams as well. Jason Van de Vender, outstanding in attack. Kyle King back, torn ACL and all, starting in center of defense. Our Shopo officials for this contest, as always, brought to you by Hawaii State Police Officers Union. Baldwin and Punahou. One spot remaining in the Division I state final tomorrow night, 7 p.m. here in Waipio. Coming your way on Spectrum OC16. Hawaii Prep, a 3-2 winner over Kinkekalike in our first semi. Kamakani will sit back and await the winner of this one. Baldwin, 2-0 winners over Kapolei yesterday. The first of 4 quarterfinals. Those all took place up the road at Waipahu High School, originally scheduled for here in Waipio. The turf, a little waterlogged. They wanted to preserve it for the last 2 days of the tournament. So all 4 semifinals up the road at the home of the Marauders. Punahou, the last semifinal yesterday, 3-0 over Mililani to advance through to this state semifinal. Punahou looking to three-peat here in 2018. The 2-time defending champs, Baldwin, in the state semifinals for the 2nd year in a row. As we are getting ready here in Waipio, Buff and Blue, very aggressive squad. They'll look to quickly advance it. Right off the opening kick, trying to free up Williams. Track standout. Had a goal in the 50th minute against Mililani. It was a quick barrage that broke a 0-0 game open for Punahou as they ended up coasting in the second half to a 3-0 victory. Baldwin knows it is a difficult ask here this evening against the depth and quality of Punahou. It'll probably be a bit of a different approach than we saw yesterday against Kapolei in a possession-oriented game.
Yeah, it's going to be high energy from the get-go. Punahou is going to want to dictate the pace. They're going to go flying at the Baldwin Bears from the get-go. And it's going to be up to Baldwin to withstand the pressure. Punahou was definitely in control the first 20 minutes against Mililani, and Mililani was able to withstand that pressure. They did have a couple, the Trojans did have a couple of chances early on set pieces. They took it to halftime, but a barrage of goals to start the second half for the Buff and Blue.
There's a dangerous ball in by Espinoza. Elliot Tom, first-year starter, the junior in goal for Baldwin, strong out to handle that cross. Jason Vandervender was waiting on the back post. Tom takes over for multi-year starter, first-team All-Hawaii, Dante Perez Martin, who was a outstanding goalkeeper last couple of years for Baldwin. Tom, a little undersized, but very aggressive. Plays the ball in the air fairly well. Of course, he's playing for a former goalkeeper in Kane Palazato himself. Baldwin will look to slow things up when they get those opportunities. Hayden Hawes, team calls him their rock at center back. They'll play this one forward. The Bears, maybe a little more direct tonight. They do, as much as possible, want to find the feet of Angelo Deloso-Flocco on that left wing. Sort of that attacking mid withdrawn forward the last couple of years. They moved him out to the wing midway through this season, and they really like what they have found with him attacking from a wide position. Yeah, lots of isolation for him, and allows for him to get some time and some space, which he likes. You know, he likes to be free-flowing with the ball, being able to move in all types of directions with very little pressure. Nicola Nakaoka, right back for Punahou, that throw. A lot of quality up top and a lot of depth. Punahou as Liam Nichols Shipley, who has 8 goals this season. And sort of that target man up ahead. Max Mounier right in behind him. We also got Vandevender on the wing. Buff and Blue can attack you from just about every which way. Also Flocco got to run into. And a free kick for the Bears near midfield. I think it was Susie yesterday who had a pretty good try from about midfield at Waipahu against Kapolei. Nearly snuck one in. Midfield battle going to be so important in this matchup, especially with Punahou kind of assumed to enjoy more of the ball. Baldwin, a team that has possessed and knocked it around with the best of them in the state the last few years, and here's a dangerous position for the Bears. And Mizuno just not able to move his feet, you know, kind of sticks his hand out there. Opportunity for the Bears early on, set piece, good position to shoot the ball.
About 24 yards off the goal line.
Chris Barry standing over it for the Bears. Try to curl one in, but always sailing. And harmlessly over the goal. Barry had that holding midfield position. No misplay. Covered up well, though, by Kai Sears. Tom had to just clear it out of danger. Good first touch, Souza. Gonna play it outside of the boot. Looking for Jacob Hogan. Here is Mounier. Deloso-Flocco. Flocco got free. And a strong tackle away. Espinoza. Just so steady back there. Timed this perfectly.
Yeah, the best thing that he could do there. You know, he's hung up by himself. 1 versus 1. Tackles away.
Deloso-Flocco, the throw, flicked. Still dancing around. It'll be out for a Baldwin throw.
Just a reminder that we have the White Baldwin baseball team that's helping us.
Baldwin, as we mentioned in the last couple of years, a lot of technical quality. It has been the finishing aspect. Has maybe been their biggest bugaboo. They'd love to get an early goal. Onside the cross. And a chance for Punahou to break. Slowed down ever so slightly. Here's Johnny Dodge. He'll play it back. Dodge, a sophomore sensation. Been very dynamic in his first year with the varsity.
Yeah, Dodge did a good job in last night's game, being able to move the ball, you know, from that central midfield position. You know, very steady, very confident as a sophomore, strong on the ball, able to take the you know, players on, get into the dangerous areas with the dribble as well as a pass.
Will be Saito. A lot of action on that left side. He'll get it back. Challenge from Maybe. Saito, 3-year starter. He's played all over that back line in his career. The junior. Dangerous ball back. The Bears find it to Souza. Quick turn. Well, Baldwin will look to knock it a bit. Sears overlapping, he and Maybe along that right side. Taken away. But Williams just ran out of width. Michael Williams, a lot of strength. 2 goals this season, 5 assists. He provides a lot of quality service from that left flank. Team settling in, 8th minute. Real extended spells on the ball. Long cross, it'll work its way all the way to Deloso. Deloso-Flocco pushing, a rip, took a deflection. Mizuno couldn't settle it down, and this will be a Baldwin corner.
Yeah, Baldwin not able to get that possession that they're wanting, but giving those opportunities, Deloso-Flocco has gotten chances on top of the box here. It takes a shot, deflection, but now they've earned themselves a corner kick. This is the type of things that the Bears need to capitalize on if they want to compete with the Punahou Buff and Blue tonight. It's going to be a couple of breaks here and there. And the Buff and Blue have had the run of play thus far.
Souza to take the corner and play it short for Saito. Just a quick touch and another corner. Daniel Souza, the senior returnee. Yeah, John Saito, another senior. For that false number 9. The Bears lacking that true target up top. That 4-3-3 they like to play. So Saito likes to drop back in, link up. Souza to play it straight in. Left alone and it's the Bears. The redirect. Hayden Horse. 1-0 Baldwin.
What a finish, though. It's on the back post there with a lot of authority on the service. And Hayden Hawes there just confidently puts that ball away into the far post. uncontested. But a great service, whipped in with a lot of pace there by Souza. And Haas there just uncontested, flicks that ball into the near post. Not sure if there's a buff and blue defender on that post. Most teams kind of keeping players on the post here and there, but well finished by Haas.
Just the 8th goal allowed all year by Punahou. A dream start for Baldwin. Hayden Haas, it was first team All-League a year ago. Honorable mention All-Hawaii. 3.8 GPA, AP student. And the steadying force in the back. He comes forward on the corner kick with a perfect redirect off the Souza feed. The Bears, a 1-0 start.
But that's the type of start that they needed. You know, they weren't having the run of play.
Beautiful ball, back post, and a half chance with Van de Vender lurking.
Here from the net cam, but Hayden Haas just uncontested, 6 yards out, no one's on him, and then no defender on that far post either, the buff and blue defense.
Saito getting pressured, Tom getting pressured. The Bears in trouble. Cleared out only as far as Dodge. Heinz Mounier, his rip deflected. Van de Vender, good touch, but it's poked away. That time by maybe. Deloso-Flocco, excuse me. Getting it up ahead. Now Espinoza will just slow things down.
Espinoza and King, the 2 center backs for the Buff and Blue, they do a great job of spacing themselves out so their outside fullbacks can get higher up in the play, where the central midfielders can come back for the ball, and they've got lots of options.
Taken quickly. Van de Vender played it in, then it popped out to Mounier. But his shot not on target.
Ball deflected off. Mounier's probably licking his chops right there. The ball coming out, rolling out to him. Doesn't connect well, goes over the crossbar. This is a time where the Bears need to settle down the play. The Buff and Blue are going to come after them. They're down 1-0. They're going to want to put high pressure. The Bears need to find possession out of midfield and allow themselves to keep clean possession for moments at a time. It can't be too quick where they're not able to commit players forward. You know, they're disconnected. A big part of their offense is getting all their players involved.
Anytime they can get it on the right foot of number 7, Angelo Deloso-Flocco, trying to lay it off for Saito. Nothing really doing for the Bears, though. And now a chance for Punahou to build from the back. Kyle King, who tore his ACL in October, decided to put off surgery until after the season. Grueling rehab. Built up a lot of strength. Got cleared midway through the year, and he's back starting for the Buff and Blue. Here's a ball, back post. Van de Vender again lurking.
A great service in there by Williams. He's got the speed. We've seen him in the championship matches. You know, but a good service in. Van de Vender there, but not able to get on the back of it.
Williams is just so dangerous. The leading assist man for the Buff and Blue. Dodge imposed on the ball. He'll earn the free kick. Tangled up with Souza. That's going to be a critical matchup. Dodge first year with the varsity. Espinoza lobs it in. Still dancing around. Sears turns and clears. Took an awkward hop.
Yeah, he's fortunate to not find his hand there. Yeah, I think he wasn't able to see the ball and just hopped up to him.
Like a Chang on now for Punahou. That is the depth and the luxury for Buff and Blue. Dodge Lays it in, still dancing around. Got a clean clearance. Sears heads it away. And popped out of there by Chris Berry for Baldwin. Chris Berry, the first goal for the Bears yesterday in the win over Kapolei. Saito going to come find it. First touch, not a clean one, and Williams swipes it. King still moving very well, again with the knee injury. Just a commendable effort to get back in playing shape. Doing it at a high level. Saito tried to touch it around King. King there for the intervention. His dad, Don, also a Punahou soccer alum. The switch, Haas, the goal scorer looking for Deloso-Flocco, and he's bumped. Didn't like it. Foul given. Cooler heads prevail, but an opportunity for the Bears to whip one in. Nakaoka bumping Deloso-Flocco that time. It will be Angelo to provide the ball in. 4 Bears standing at the top of the area. Dangerous ball right at the penalty spot with the very strong punch, and he was fouled in the process. Ian Withy-Berry, we saw him last year help lead Punahou. Of course, he had to come off in the state final for injuring his eye. Guy who we haven't seen really possess the ball yet, but he's a guy who always stood out to me, very quick on his distributions. Hasn't had a chance to spark the attack, though, just yet. Baldwin's one real opportunity was the goal scored off the corner by Hayden Haas. Really no wind to speak of.
Yeah, ideal weather out here at Waipio. It's definitely cooled down since this afternoon. Obviously a later start due to the Division II semifinal match going into overtime. Excuse me, penalty kicks.
Hawaii defeating Pac-5. The Warriors taking on Kapa'a in the D2 championship match. That'll be the first of our doubleheader on Spectrum OC16 starting at 5 p.m. Last couple of minutes, the Bears. More of the ball. Drawn quite a bit of whistles as well. I believe that's the 8th foul whistled against Punahou the first 23 minutes.
Yeah, and all of them just due to high pressure. You know, they've got players that they can substitute, and we've seen some players come on already to bring some of that energy. No excuse for them to not close in and put pressure on the Bears, because the Buff and Blue, Coach Ivanovic and his staff know that the Bears are looking to possess. They like to play possession soccer, spread out the field, so they're looking to disrupt that play and get high pressure onto them. Don't allow them to connect with their teammates. And the Buff and Blue, what they do a good job of is positive spacing out of the back, being able to slow things down and find gaps in the Bears defense.
Williams looking for a gap here. Beats Sears, but Hawes over to clean things up. And now Kyle Cummings looking to clear, but it was out of play. Punahou themselves, as you mentioned, with all that depth, all that quality, they like to possess, but they like to keep the ball. And when they lose it, pressing forward. Yeah. High pressure on the ball, and that makes it so difficult to play against. Tom Strong off his line.
Yeah, with their possession, they're looking to slow it down just for a moment so that their outside midfielders can get higher up into the attack to almost look like a 4-3-3 when they are attacking. Defensively, they're looking for a 4-5-1 type of shape where those wingers are withdrawn and they're coming back to help defend. And so that's why Punahou, a lot of times their first pass will be backwards so that their wingers can get higher up the field.
Taken away in midfield. Souza trying to spring Saito. Much too direct that time, though. And Withy Berry on his way to play it. Swarthmore in Pennsylvania, Division III school. Williams, quality first touch. Sears battling. And Williams, though, that next touch betrayed him.
Well, look at that long service into Williams, and Williams had such a good first touch. Was looking to be a bit too aggressive on the second touch, pushing the ball over the goal line.
Hey, Spectrum OC16 would like to recognize the provider of the Spectrum OC16 trophies and plaques. Mike's Engraving and Trophies is the official trophy provider of Spectrum OC16 Sports. For all your special achievements, call Mike's Engraving and Trophies at 486-5220. The Bears lose it quickly, and then David Tamura, his first involvement, drew a foul. A very dangerous spot for Punahou. Max Mounier going to stand over it. Had a goal in the 68th minute yesterday against Mililani. Tom the punch away. Didn't take any chances that time. Just parried it away. A flick back toward goal, and Tom covered it well. Johnny Dodge right in the middle of things. Oh, what a dangerous ball played in, though, by Mounier.
Yeah, and everyone's just sitting in on Tom in goal. You know, the back line was pinned in about 6 or 7 yards off of his goal line. He's expecting a lot of pressure, so he's looking to punch that first ball away.
One thing the Bears really like about Tom, decisive and very quick. 22nd minute, the Bears, the Hayden Hawes header, the 1-0 lead. Punahou continues to pressure, though. Tamura lost it, then left the boot in. And actually, that was Dominic Guzman. Chris Barry tripped up that time. Talking to for Guzman. JV call up. Punahou, about 7 or 8 guys that they have pulled up from their 2 JV teams who ended up tying for the ILH championship, their gold and their blue teams. Just a wealth of quality talent for David Trifanovic in his program.
And we've seen that in the last couple of years with players that have been called up from the JV during the year, you know, during that same year to make an impact here at the state tournament with the varsity teams.
They don't call guys up just for the experience. They call guys up looking to contribute. Through ball. Cummings played it back to Tom as Milne was giving chase. Now Sears will just have to clear away. They're trying to weather the storm here. And Kyle King getting tangled up with Souza. Chance for Baldwin to slow things down. Instead, they're going to take it quick.
And just a hard foul there. You know, Kyle King going for the ball. You know, goes through player. Referee's going to call that all the time. Quite a bit of whistles so far in this match. You know, we're only into the 23rd minute.
Barry going to continue his run forward. Jacob Hogan. Couple of touches. He in the center of that midfield with Souza, and Hogan going to get called for the foul. Hogan, a guy 2nd year back with the Bears. Moving back from Vegas. Grew up in Waiahu, though. Tamura looking to lay it off for Milne. Out comes Tom and wins the foot race. Well, very dangerous so far. A couple of times Tom threatened, but not really that one true quality chance. to try and tie this thing up. 25th minute. Hayden Hawes goal, the lone separation so far. Mounier working his way back to it. Second team all ILH last season. The junior in the center of midfield. He was played all over internationally. He's played with some of the teams, both around LA and in Mexico as well. The Chivas youth teams.
Yeah, a lot of the play will look to find him. You know, Mounier will be around the ball. Johnny Dodge will be around the ball in central midfield.
He's been pushed wide. His cross on the ground. Pause, a clearance, only as far as Espinoza. Wanted Nakaoka, but lost it. So there's a little poke away, but Espinoza there, and now Espinoza going to continue pushing forward. A couple of good touches, but then loses it in midfield. Excellent job working back by Tamura. Now the buff and blue. Yeah, both teams very comfortable holding things up, looking to possess. A knockback, looking to push some numbers forward, but just been a little disjointed both ways, really.
Yeah.
I think some of the quality of both teams.
Yeah, I think the front runners for the buff and blue are looking to, you know, get opportunities to go to goal. So when the midfielders or even the backs are winning the ball, they're pressing forward, but then they're getting stuck at the back line for the Bears, and no one is making any types of runs across the field. Everyone's kind of just waiting for that ball that's coming over the top or through, and it's almost like a, you know, a track event there. You know, there's not a whole lot of dynamic running for the front runners of the buff and blue. They're getting stuck on that back line. That's going to be a little bit of a change that they need to adjust so that it forces the Bears to be a bit more organized defensively. Right now it's being it's a little too easy for the Bears to defend that.
Williams, Van Bender, Nicholas Shipley coming back on for Punahou, some of the starters. Buff and blue come at you in waves. The Bears not quite with that depth. One of the guys that they do like to bring off the bench, Chase Sumipkai, out there running around up top. They did use him against Kapolei. Sears looking for Barry. Good initial turn, but then a giveaway in midfield. As you were mentioning, Brent, Punahou, when the Bears have turned it over, they haven't quite been able to punish quickly, nor have they been able to hold the ball long enough to really make the Bears work defensively. Good ball, Deloso-Flocco. A misplay, left alone. Deloso-Flocco, a touch wide, and the finish. The Bears double the lead.
Wow. You know, unlike Espinoza to make that misplay on Deloso-Flocco, but it might be a part of it, that 1-versus-1 against a player with a lot of skill and someone that's going to look to dribble. So Espinoza possibly kind of holding himself out there, you know, instead of tackling that ball hard, knowing that Deloso-Flocco, excuse me, is on that ball. Does well composed to keep that ball across the face of the goal, put it away. Huge.
Baldwin's 2 shots on goal have found the back of the net, but the Bears with Kobe Kuge, their left back, going to pick up the first caution of the match. Kuge felt he had won the ball. He's going to be shown yellow. And Punahou looking to respond very, very quickly, but the buff and blue have only allowed multiple goals once this season. That was a 3-0 loss to Iolani on the 11th of January. Other than that, been clean sheets or just 1 goal allowed. Bears with 2 goals in the first half hour. And you're maybe going to come back on. So the Bears trying to shore up that left back spot. Mounier again look to play it in.
Yeah, and maybe Baldwin kind of reversing the tides The last times they met up in the semifinals, Punahou was on the board, 10 minutes into the game, winning 3-0.
A header away. Lofted back in. Deloso-Flocco looking to hold things up, sends it forward. Now back in the direction of Nichols. Sears to clear it away. Souza, dangerous ball back. Winning off the giveaway. Ball towards Van de Vender and just shielded off enough that time. Maybe throwing his body in the way, allowing Tom to pounce. Van de Vender just a half step from really getting a quality chance. That's about the 4th or 5th time he's found himself knocking on the door, back post. Deloso-Flocco, back heel, overlapping run, Hogan. Ball played square towards King. Mounier trying to spring the break, but Sears right in that channel. Kai Sears, one of 2 Sears brothers on this team. Younger brother Cody also on the squad. Buff and Blue play quick. And a whistle top of the D as Kyle Cummings whistled for the foul. But Mounier starting to be a little more aggressive, pushing forward himself.
Yeah, Mounier does well there. He gets that ball right about the center circle. He's got some space, looks to drive it. I think he realized he's in that area where he needs to get a shot or draw a foul. He's got the later part of it, but here go Espinoza's opportunity.
Low driven, Tom, perfect spot. Didn't spill it either. Espinoza, quality strike. Trying to catch Tom leaning.
Yeah, and he needed to cover that ball up because there was no Bears in the area to cover for him.
2-0 Bears. Hogan laying it off for Souza. Those two are going to really have to go to distance in the center of midfield, along with Barry in behind them. Tom coming out, didn't communicate. Maybe was shouldered off the ball, and they're going to say Williams a little extra.
And Hayden Hawes there, with Williams going shoulder to shoulder there. But Elliot Tom, the Baldwin goalkeeper, coming out for that one too. It could have been a bit of a mess. A little push there from behind. But there you could see Tom just kind of hit the edge of that 18. If Williams was able to get on the end of it, he's looking for a 20-yard chip to the back post.
So Mibkai trying to bring it in. Espinoza and King really giving him nowhere to go. Now the Buff and Blue will try to build through the middle. They play it wide. It's going to be a whistle. Barry tugging on the shirt. Wrapped up Mounier on the hip that time. Easy call. But Max Mounier starting to really create a few more opportunities. He's looking to set up teammates, but he's been a little more aggressive going straight at goal.
Yeah, and he's been aggressive trying to find the ball. He's putting himself in a position. He's always head checking as he's in that area of receiving the ball. Opportunity here. Good service.
Pause the clearance. So Mibkai, Dodge wins that challenge. King looking to switch it in the direction of Guzman. And he's fouled. And again, Kuge had to come off with the yellow card. Maybe filling in at left back. Usually plays on that right wing. Harsh challenge that time. Maybe the transfer in from California. A couple of guys making the move from the mainland, joining the Bears. You got Cummings, moved from Arizona. And maybe, as we mentioned, who came in from California. Mooney's been dangerous on these set pieces. Another curler, top of the 6. Header skims wide. But it's out for a corner.
A good service in, and signal for a corner, though. That ball goes off of Espinosa's head. But Punahou's got to take advantage of this.
First buff and blue corner of the match. Mounier is going to take it. Kuge is going to come back on. Again, he's playing with a yellow. 6 buff and blue players in the area. 2 more lurking just outside. The Bears have basically all 10 back defending. Cross, back posted, just a little too tall for Liam Nichols-Shipley.
Nichols-Shipley was right there.
Nearly an opportunity for Punahou to tie it up. Enterprise scores around town. It was championship night in Manoa. The Snapple Boys State Basketball Championship, and in a rematch of last year's final, Punahou flips the script. Dominant performance, 27-point victory over Kahuku. They led it by double digits heading into halftime, and then pulled away even more so in the final 2 quarters. The Buff and Blue winning another State Boys Basketball Championship, so those two split. Kahuku winning it last year. We saw St. Francis in Division II, another decisive victory. Those two played a couple of really tight games in the non-league. Say we set up an exhibition between the 2 state champs, D1 and D2, between St. Francis and Punahou.
Yeah, well, would it be, you know, a D1 versus D2 type of championship match here? If Punahou can get on the board, you know, Hawaii Prep is waiting in the wings. You know, the D2 champ from last year.
Cummings plays it low. Van de Vender, the initial clearance, and then Kuge just inserts it back in with Iberi. Not bothered. It's to start it with Espinoza. He and Barry Espinoza, 4-year starter. His dad, one of the Punahou JV coaches. Brother Antonio came through this Punahou program. A lot of family legacies within this Punahou soccer ohana. 28 quick one time outside of the boot. Williams playing a little more centrally. The turn. And then Kuge coming all the way over, as Williams was threatening to go right down the spine.
And there, that showcase of what Punahou is trying to do. They just kind of want to almost make you fall asleep for a moment with just some possession soccer, and then they'll look to penetrate when they've got their wingers high in the attack. You know, Williams picks up that ball, and he had, you know, players on both sides that he could have played, but decided to dribble in. That's what Punahou is going to look to do, and they need to do that if they're going to look to get back into this match. They've had, you know, maybe just a little bit more of the possession in this first half, but they haven't had opportunities, you know, to really test Tom during the run of play.
Milne laying it back. Here's Williams. Tackled away. Deloso trying to find it. Williams tracking all the way back. A chip back up ahead. Sears lost it. And Tom will boot it away. 38th minute, 39th minute.
Now the 2-minute mark, and the official time will be kept on the field.
And it's Baldwin with the 2-0 lead. The Bears taking advantage. Their 2 shots on goal have found the back of the net. And defensively, they've done just enough up to this point.
You're right. The AR on this side is signaling that I think Elliot Tom, the goalkeeper, stepped across of the line as he punted that ball. The moment he punted that ball, the AR had raised his flag. So an opportunity again here for Punahou to cash it in. This free kick will be right at the edge of the 18-yard box, the penalty area.
It'll be right on the top of the 18. Could see about a minute or 2 added on to the 40. And interestingly, you know, in the first match, that was very liberally let go.
Yeah.
And I can tell you for certain that in that first match between Hawaii Prep and Kinke Kalike, keepers were a little outside of the area. Not sure if Tom was given a warning or not, but can't take that risk. Dangerous chance.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a referee, but I thought that it should be a direct kick. I see the referee kind of raising his hands because once the goalkeeper comes across to the...
It's a regular handball. It's not a handling by the keeper on a pass back or anything like that. Yeah, I agree with you.
But the referee is signaling that it's an indirect.
And it is indeed Punahou. The buff and blue pull one back, and it's Espinoza, the rocket shot. A late first half tally. And the Baldwin lead is one.
This just kind of a crazy, I'm not sure why they're given another chance there. I'm not sure if, the wall encroached, but Espinoza gets another opportunity there. Just rips it down low off of Tom. You've got to take advantage of situations that are given to you like that. The AR makes a critical call, I'm sure, if that was the call that he saw, but for Punahou to capitalize.
Williams trying to tie it up in quick succession. Got past the initial challenge by Hawes, but Tom the save. Dicey moments here late for the Bears. They led it 2-0, it's 2-1 now. Expect a couple of minutes added onto the 40 here at the end of the opening half. Buff and Blue, the last 10 minutes or so, have just continued knocking on the door. They finally bust through for the opening goal. And they worked themselves all the way back before halftime. Laid off by Mizuno for King, and the Buff and Blue will now march forward, but they can't link up on that far sideline.
We've seen, the closing, or the opening parts of the house today for the boys. We've seen the late goals at the end of the half. We saw that for Jake Schneider and his Hawaii prep, Kamakani. And last week we saw a lot of the early goals happening in the second half. This week it's the late goals of the half.
This first and last 5 minutes of the half, so critical. Baldwin a couple of goals in the first half hour. Punahou pulls one back late, and that it will indeed be halftime. Baldwin 2, Punahou 1 after 40 minutes. Buff and Blue pulling one back late. They've cut the deficit in half. Heading into intermission. Hawaii Prep awaiting the winner. Halftime here in semifinal number 2, the Bears ahead 2-1. Well, here we go, halftime in the second Division I boys semifinal at the Queens Medical Center State Championships. Baldwin 2, Punahou 1. The Bears trying to break through into their first state final since 1993. Punahou, the two-time defending champion, looking for state title number 21. It was a 2-0 lead for the Bears as we welcome you back inside the broadcast booth. Jordan Helly, Brent Murakami, Jimmy Bender coming up a little later in halftime. And Brent, the Baldwin lead, a dream start. 2 shots on goal, 2 goals, but a late score off a kind of a weird play for Punahou, but you got to give Buff Blue credit. They capitalized and they pull one back in a much better position heading into the second 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think Punahou's got to feel good about what they were doing. The last 3 or 4 minutes of that first play, they were really moving that ball around, getting some good penetration. I think on the Bears side, they really need to get organized on that back line because they're going to feel the pressure in the second half.
We'll look at some of the numbers from the first half, as always, delivered by Pizza Hut. Punahou definitely dominating possession in the last quarter hour or so of that first half. The channel's there maybe, as you were pointing out, Brent, but Punahou just the 1 goal.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, like we see, the fouls. This is a big stat here. Lots of whistles in this match. Players with lots of fouls on each of them. I would think that they're going to be getting some yellow cards in the second half. They've got 24 total fouls in that first half. That means lots of set pieces, lots of players with potential yellow cards sitting on them, and giving opportunities to get goals on set pieces in dangerous areas.
Some of the action from the first half. Baldwin, as we mentioned, really 2 quality opportunities, and they buried them. Hayden Hawes, the header for the opening goal. And then off a misplay, a rare one by the Punahou Black Line, Angelo Deloso-Flocco buried it to put them up 2-0. But then Punahou slowly worked their way back into it in the final breakthrough late in the first half.
Yeah, and Espinoza does well. He kind of a bit of a misplay on his first, on that goal by Deloso-Flocco, but here he puts one away for the Buff and Blue to get 1 goal away from them.
So we'll head to the second half. Baldwin up 2-1. Can the Bears hang on here? Punahou keeps knocking on the door. We'll check in with Jimmy Bender when we return out to Waipio. Baldwin 2, Punahou 1. Halftime here in the state semifinals. A 2-1 lead for Baldwin at halftime of this second Division I semifinal. Hawaii Prep already through to the D1 state final. Jimmy Bender standing down on the sideline. Got some halftime updates. Jimmy, what you got?
Yeah, Jordan and Brent talked to both of the coaches to find out what they're going to do here as they move forward in the second half. On the Baldwin side, what Coach Kane told me was obviously very happy with the 2 goals, but what he said is we really got to keep possession of the ball better. He said this Punahou team very technical. You saw when they get possession of the ball and move around, it's a concern for him. So, yeah, like you said, can they keep this lead? That's what they're going to need to do, keep possession of the ball. On the Punahou side, what Coach David told me is those early goals were attributed to those midfield concerns he talked about in the opening, and he said we just got to clean that up a little bit better. He likes the intensity he saw in the last few minutes, and he said, look, if we just keep the ball on their side like we did in the last few minutes of that first half, we should be all right. Guys, that's it from here on the field. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Jimmy. So we'll head to the second half. Baldwin protecting the 1-goal lead. You get the feeling, though, Punahou is going to have a lot to say about that. A lot of quality chances, particularly the final 10, 15 minutes of the opening half. Would you imagine we may have a few more goals in this second half?
Yeah, and Coach
Palizzotto
on the Baldwin side, I'm sure he's thinking right now, you know, with that 1-goal lead, he's not wanting his team to sit back. He kind of mentioned that to me yesterday. He felt that during the season, there were a couple of games where it seemed like the boys were kind of playing for that tie or to preserve that 1-goal lead, which led to them actually tying or losing, you know. And so that is something that he's probably addressing at halftime to make sure that they don't let the Buff and Blue in the match.
And for Coach Trefanovic, of course, 4-time state champ with Punahou, 4 of their 20 all-time. Talked about the midfield. Max Munier was outstanding the last 20 minutes or so. He really seemed to take things into his own hands to shore up the midfield play, and he just made them so much more dangerous the last 15 minutes. And an early giveaway as Nichols finding himself right in the middle of things. And an early whistle. Again, we had 24 fouls combined, 12 each in the first half. 1 card, Kuge sitting on a yellow, the left back for Baldwin. Buff and Blue take it quick. Way out wide. The touch central, ball played in, and Tom, unbothered, comes out for the catch.
Yeah, needed to hold on to that one, that's for sure. Buff and Blue all on his doorstep. But here, just in the first minute, you can see Punahou just high pressing. You know, Coach Trefanovic knows that he's willing to sub players in. He's going to get players to just spend their energy pressuring, you know, even out-muscling the Baldwin Bears.
Kuge on a run forward, trying to link up with Saito. A good job. Nicola Nakaoka at right back to win it for the Buff and Blue. Calm, cool night in Waipio. No wind at all. Temperature dropping a bit the last hour. Late start to this one, everything pushed back by the second semifinal of the day. We had 4 semifinals, 2 in Division 2, 2 in Division 1. Kapa'a winners early in Division 2. We had Kamehameha Hawaii in penalties defeat Pac 5. Those two will meet at 5 p.m. tomorrow on Spectrum OC 16 for the D2 State Championship. Hawaii Prep in the first of our TV doubleheader defeated Kinki Kalike 3-2. 78th minute goal by Jake Schneider, his second of the day, the winner for Kamakani. And now we find ourselves in the final semi of the day. Baldwin 2, Punahou 1. Tension's high for sure.
I think we're in for a nice 40 minutes here of high energy soccer.
Great first touch by Deloso-Flocco, battling. This was going to go against Baldwin. I will say, you know, observing the high school game the last handful of years or so, it's definitely become a less physical brand of soccer. Teams getting better technically, to be quite honest, and that's lent itself to a more free-flowing type of game. And this maybe not the physical battle that we have seen in years past, maybe, when you think about state high school boys soccer, but it's definitely been as physical a semifinal as we have seen all day, and really all tournament as physical a meeting. A little throwback in that sense.
And I think there's a lot at stake, just between these two teams in recent years. That semifinals in 2014, between Punahou and Baldwin. But here, just that physical play, players just wanting to get on that ball, and players on both teams really strong on the ball, so it's going to take a lot to get through them. And there's going to be quite a bit of fouls that are called throughout the match, like we've seen so far.
Nichols lost it, won it back. Mounier take the first touch off the outside of the boot straight away, and then the clearance up ahead towards Saito. Saito tracking back, he'll hold it up. Play it back to Sears. Cummings, a little heavy on the first touch. Milne giving chase. Now Baldwin will find Deloso. Will play it square. Took a carom over to Saito. Souza had a chance to maybe switch it. Saito, the quick take back.
There, Baldwin finally getting to connect 5 or 6 passes, work it through the back line, or opening up channels through the midfield. From that play, there's from the back all the way up to the winger, and those are balls that they're looking to connect when they do have the opportunities to possess. We did not see that at all in the first half.
Excellent job by Nakaoka to win that away from Deloso. Deloso as good on the ball as anybody in the state. But Nakaoka, the returning starter at outside back. Judo state champ, uses the body well. It was actually applied to the Air Force Academy and the Naval Academy. And again, another foul. The center of midfield. This time it's Hogan. Buff and Blue have looked to play those restarts pretty quickly. Mixed success.
Yeah, I think they know that, getting a set piece at midfield, probably not going to get them a goal dumping the ball in to the back line. So they're just looking for a quick restart, getting the ball in play, and getting players up the field. But just so high energy right now. And as much as it's high energy, the teams need to kind of take the air out of the ball and start knocking it, using the spaces appropriately on this field. It's got a nice surface, even though it's getting pretty muddy. I think you're looking at the buff and blue jerseys. You've got players all dirty and muddy. So I think it was great that we did not play here yesterday, because this field would have been pretty terrible, I think, today.
Chris Barry taking the tumble in that holding mid for Baldwin. Actually tried out at a trial with the LA Galaxy Academy recently. Hogan plays it back to Barry. Barry's have really looked to Deloso in this second half to provide an outlet on that wing. Pressured. All tackled away, but Deloso back in. A touch central. And then knocked away. Moore stepped in, and the whistle comes. Deloso, the wizard, just trying to make it happen himself.
Got a couple hard tackles in and a no call, and then there, thing justifies.
Deloso-Flocco standing over at about 25 yards out. He'll rip one. Withy-Berry confidently behind that one. There's the quality of Ian Withy-Berry. Honorable mention, all Hawaii. Big save. Had it all the way. Sears, a touch through to Saito, excuse me. Now maybe. He loses it. Williams weaving. Still bothering maybe. All the way back to Tom. Boy, a dangerous ball. Haas elected to let it run through to Tom instead of just clearing it out himself. That pass had just enough pace.
Just lots of fouls, you know, in this match. I'm really surprised, honestly, that the referee has not shown a yellow card. It doesn't have to be because of malicious fouling. It can be for persistent fouling, you know, and it just kind of settles the game a little bit. You know, players are going to keep pushing their limits as long as the referee allows them to. And it's not like it's anything malicious. It's just that players are going hard to the ball here.
7 fouls already whistled in this half, 5 against the Bears. It's a good touch through. Moore looking to whip one in with the left foot. Mounier is going to earn the corner. First corner of the half for Punahou, 3rd of the match. Chang gonna come back on for Punahou. 6 in the area for Mounier. Back post, Tom, strong. Good ball in, but it hung up softly enough for Tom.
But Tom did well to get up on that. He's not a big guy, you know, but definitely had sure hands going up for that corner.
Cummings plays it off of his chest. Got it out of trouble. Looking for Williams. Running in diagonally, and here's another look at Tom. Deloso-Flocco, excuse me, finding a lot more of the ball in this second half. A bit more freedom to roam centrally. Pass looking for Flocco, but off the mark. Now Chang. Mounier, just enough space to turn. Great work in tight circles. Looking for Williams. And a nice job by Sears. Moore weaving, took a deflection. Slowed it down enough. Hawes sliding in to slow that shot down.
Yeah, and Mounier does well on that one. You know, very crafty. He had players on him, able to play just a soft ball across the field. Dangerous area.
A little over 10 minutes into this second half. Just under half an hour remaining.
Oh, players just diving all over the place. Well-stricken ball there. And Moore to get a chance for the buff and blue.
Souza a chance to push into space. But the Bears can't link up. Looking for Saito. Baldwin wins it back. Deloso-Flocco. Gonna run away from him. Punahou has found a few opportunities. They haven't found that one true chance just yet, looking for that tying goal. They trailed it 2-0 about 25 minutes into the match. An Espinoza goal just before halftime. Brought them back within 1 after Hawes, Deloso-Flocco tallied 2 for Baldwin. They say ball to hand that time, but then the deflection finds its way to Mounier. A tackle in and taken away by Barry. Boy, he needed to get that one absolutely right. They say he did. going to be a Baldwin throw. Saito was looking to take it quickly. I think some of his teammates were saying, hey, let's slow it down a little bit, but another look at Hawes. It was.
Right, that was his last resort. They were able to stand up and make that one play. Not being able to commit too early, because if he dove in there, be right around Mounier.
Hawes' 4th year with this program. Sumipkai comes back on for the Bears. In place of Saito up top. Jaden Kozaki as well. Well, play on that right wing. Kozaki, his older brother Colton, played with the Bears. Sister Amber was a standout. Went on to the UH track team. Kozaki on the ball. They'll lay it back. Deloso. They're going to push into the corner. Bodied up by Nakaoka. 3 on Deloso-Flocco. Ball played centrally, but right to Williams. A chance for Punahou. Looking on the counter. Milne runs into Hawes in a big collision, and it's going to be yellow. And Hawes may be fortunate it wasn't more.
Just players getting in hard. I mean, both players wanting the ball, definitely.
You can see there, I think the timing of the challenge, probably a caution, but the right arm, that's the big question mark there. Coming up awfully high. As Milne, the goal scorer last night, 1 of 3 for Punahou. Good to see him up on his feet, but the Bears will have to go without their captain at center back. Kupono Coyle going to come on and take his place. High ball in, still not cleared. Mounier curls one, back post. Still not out of danger. And finally the Bears able to push out of their own area. Kozaki tracking all the way back, and now Sumipkai not able to hold things up. Espinoza. Jacob Moore has been very dangerous in this second half. On the ball, plays it wide. Williams gets to the end line, ball tackled away, still loose, and Tom's gonna cover it up. Boy, Williams in such a dangerous spot, and again, the Bears go to ground.
Yeah.
Awfully risky.
In that penalty area, and so the Buff and Blue are getting success to get behind and put yourselves in a position to either get a shot or get a foul around the penalty area or in the penalty area.
Up towards Sumipkai. Espinoza calmly ahead back towards Withy Berry. Quarter hour gone in this second half. Punahou looking for that equalizer. Saito square looking for dodge. I'm going to play advantage, now he's going to pull it back.
Yeah, so Williams getting in there. That was a good tackle though. No foul there. This is just some extracurricular there. Just players passionate about the game.
Yeah, it was Jacob Hogan tracking back from center midfield. Had to time it perfectly. Boy, did he ever. His brother Levi was a football athlete for the Bears back in his day. Hawes going to come back on, misses about 2 minutes. And again, he and Kuge, they see the left side of that back line, both sitting on yellows. Espinoza, very dangerous balls all night long. And a handball going against Punahou. So Hawes comes back on, and again, he and Kuge gonna have to be very, very smart on how they go into some of these challenges. We've touched on how physical it has been.
Yeah, and that's tough as a backfield player, you know, as a fullback, playing with a yellow card on your mind with this type of physical game. You know, you don't want to go in soft because you could get beat, you know, but knowing if you go in too hard, whether the ball just slips away and you clip a player, it'd be a second yellow card and you'd be off this game and the next game if in this case Baldwin's able to keep this 2-1 lead and make it to the championship game tomorrow.
Sears up for that header. Bears couldn't link up, looking for Kozaki. Onier and Dodge now in the center of the park for Punahou. A lot of creativity, a lot of technical quality, but they give it away. And Hawes brought down by Dodge. And we may see our first Punahou caution of the match, and indeed it is. Thinking back to last night or yesterday, I don't believe anybody came in sitting on a yellow from the quarterfinals. Of course, that would matter should somebody pick up a yellow going forward to tomorrow's potential championship match or a third place match for that matter. Punahou, the state champs a year ago. Baldwin finished tied for third. All consolation matches wiped out by the rain last year.
We had a Monday finish, right, last year.
Long ball ahead for Kozaki.
But Punahou's, you know, getting the right possession that they need. You know, they've gotten a couple of times. They've got players slipping behind, going into the penalty box, getting chances on goal. I do think, I know Coach Kane Palazzato on the Baldwin end does not want his team to sit back. I think what's allowing Punahou to get better possession is that Baldwin is still in their 4-3-3, and they're kind of camping up top and not, you know, their wingers are not playing some defense, you know, and coming back to help out the team. So it's exposing them to space where the Punahou wingers can come back and check for the ball, and they've got a lot of space. And they're connecting with their central midfielders, or Mounier and Johnny Dodge, making runs out of that central midfield area because there's a lot of space now in there due to the Baldwin team playing high up the field.
Yeah, with those two players in the center of midfield, of course, Dodge had to come off after picking up the yellow. But with those two guys, this may be as dynamic and creative a pairing they could put in the center of the park.
Yes, and you look for Mounier to get a lot of penetrating runs out of that midfield. He does not camp in that middle of the field if he doesn't get the ball initially. This will probably be a caution as well. Not sure on who it is, but if it's Hawes, he should be cautioned there.
And you can hear the Punahou fans knowing that he is already sitting on the yellow, and I think our center referee, long, hard thought, and you could easily could have been his second yellow, but he's going to allow him to stay on. Hawes trying to plead his case, but I don't know how much he really could there. And Hawes fortunate, very, very fortunate.
Tell you, one more on him is definitely going to be a card.
Tom spilled it, but a whistle comes in. The Bears looking to play quick. Sears. Christian Yu in for Punahou. Buff and Blue really tapping into some of their depth. This one had the assist on the Espinoza goal. Moore back in, deep in that midfield. Some of the promising moments for Punahou came with Jacob Moore. If he buried a little mistouch. In the end, really nothing too much to sweat about for the Buff and Blue. Strong header. The foul comes in. Might have been Barry going up, and it was Barry. Chris Barry mentioned. He in the center of that midfield, along with some of the additions, Cummings at center back. Now Cummings coming in from Arizona. His dad took a job working out at Haleakala, part of the tech park up there. Just a long ball for the Bears, just to an area, so Mibkai hanging out. And Ray, you touched on Baldwin really needing to solidify things defensively. Of course, you got Daniel maybe getting a breather here. Maybe the California transfers. Dad, the new pastor over at Doris Todd Christian School in Haiku.
Yeah, the Bears, you know, they've got to want to hold on to the win, and so they've got to be able to work both ways of the field, both offensively, defensively. You know, if they can get their third goal, that would be huge for them. But right now, they've really got to work defensively. Punahou is subbing players in to try and keep them as fresh as possible, and Baldwin needs to match that energy. If not, Punahou is going to keep going at him, and Baldwin's got 2 players on their back line playing with the yellow card. I'm pretty sure the next foul on them is going to result in a red card and a dismissal.
Hey, a reminder, our good friends over at Enterprise now renting a variety of commercial trucks here on Oahu. Visit enterprisetrucks.com for your trucking needs. Enterprise, a strong supporter of Hawaii high school sports, including the HHSA Hall of Honor. For more info, you can log on to enterprisetrucks.com. 64th minute here in Waipio. Hawaii Prep awaiting the winner of this one in tomorrow's Division I state championship match. Baldwin looking to get to their first state final since 1993. Punahou looking to get to their 3rd in a row. 2-time defending champs. Looking for state title number 21 overall. Two goals for the Bears, first 25 minutes or so. Hawes and Deloso-Flocco, and Espinoza just before halftime. The scoring in this one. Kyle King has been very good in defense. Hawes back for the header. A lot of pressure on this Baldwin back line, 2 of them sitting on yellows. And Punahou continuing to just come in wave after wave. Again, Dodge tangled up, and it'll just be out for a Baldwin throw.
And it's difficult for Punahou, you know, a team that doesn't find themselves usually behind in a match. You know, but here another look at some physical play, but yeah. You know, maybe something that could have been called there, but thrown. But for Punahou, you know, they're not down very often. You know, all season long they've only dropped 1 game to Iolani, 3-0. You know, so it's hard for them to get out of the style of play in a way that maybe they need to play a little bit more direct and challenge the Baldwin back line to make clearances. You know, instead they're playing some possession soccer and playing in front of the Baldwin defense, making it easy for them. So as it gets towards the end of this game, how much can they really stretch the Baldwin Bears defense and play over the top and put some players up there and tap them up there?
Nick Yu, one of those fresh legs out there. He and his twin brother Christian on this squad. Johnny Dodge to provide the left-footed service. A curler, back post! And it's hitting off the top netting. Well, he was looking to curl that one in himself.
Yeah, and a lost opportunity there.
Yeah, Dodge has been so good. Just a sophomore. Grew up playing in Southern California. Dad in the Coast Guard. Now back living in Hawaii.
It's one of those that if that ball goes in, it's magical. But if it doesn't give your team a chance, everyone's a little bit disappointed.
Punahou continuing to ask the most of the questions in this second half. Maybe back on. Last touched out by Punahou, and we're going to get an overrule here. Maybe back on at outside mid. A lot of experience playing defensively. Maybe provides him a little more cover on the wing. But he wins this ball, but a little heavy on the touch. He took it away from Saito. Williams and Van de Vender going to come back into the match for Punahou. Van de Vender, a goal in last year's state championship match. 4 goals this season. Next year we'll be playing over at Lynn Fields in McMinnville, Oregon. Ian Williams, the 2 starters, looking to make the push in the final 13 minutes plus. Chang got free, and then Cummings out for a Punahou corner. Can the Buff and Blue break through? They pulled one back. They need another. Mounier on the corner. Near post.
Oh,
Tamba punch.
that ball was coming right in on that near post.
He had Kuge on his near post. It went up and over his head, and then Tom covering it up. Punahou right back. Williams on the back post. A one-time left boot. And Tom again in solid position.
He's going to have to make some of those saves down the stretch. I'm sure that's not his last tonight.
Dodge, the quick turn. And Williams, the speed. Touch heavy. And Hawes, the clearance. 69th minute. Baldwin so far. It's not had the dam burst in this second half. Ball's played back to Saito. Trying to pick out an option. Got it over to Chang. Was touched out by Sears.
Yeah, the Bears needing to really get organized. There's quite a bit of players that are loosely marked.
Sears been pretty solid so far at right back. State qualifier in cross country. Track distance runner as well. Hogan couldn't settle that down nicely enough with Saito back in up top running for the Bears. And an awesome job by Chang keeping that in play. Maybe battling Saito. The ball up ahead, Van de Vender. Cummings plays it back to Tom. Had to take a touch to collect, and in the end, it was the right decision.
Yeah, I think so. It was good on Tom's part to take a quick touch. You know, if it was any slower, it might be a 2-2 game.
Cummings again, stepping up. It's going to be out for a Punahou throw. Ball played back post, and it hung up long enough for Tom. Needed to be a little wider with Milne, and then Williams lurking on that back post. Dodge wanted to link up with Mounier. Van de Vender and Kuge stuck out the left boot.
I think Punahou can look to possess a little bit more at midfield. There now with the Bears dropping off quite a bit. There's some space at that midfield area to knock the ball just a bit before going in for any type of shot or penetration.
Souza out to maybe back to Souza. Wanted Saito. It was offside. The flag was up. Kobe Saito for Punahou, try to clear it out off of John Saito for Baldwin back toward Withyberry, but again, flag was up for offside. Promising build up there for the Bears, trying to work the quick counter with Souza. Now a whistle in favor of the Bears. More Dodge and Bunier all out there together for Punahou. In the center of midfield. You got Van de Vender, Williams, on the wings. This is maybe as dangerous a grouping Punahou can throw.
Yeah, and Punahou's got to look for a quick counter off of this set piece. If Withy Berry can pick up a ball.
Couple of substitutions. Punahou brings Guzman back on. Kozaki on for maybe. The 73rd minute.
Coach Palazzato kind of yelling at his backline players to come on, hold on, and tighten up. The Buff and Blue just looking to get opportunities.
Pushing a lot of numbers forward. There's pressing a little bit. Force Espinoza to play it back. Now Williams. Tom coming out. Williams with all that speed. Looking to stretch the back line, but Tom very quick. Punahou with 5 shots in the half. Baldwin just 1. And a chance for the Baldwin substitution. And it's Sumibkai for Saito. Looking to come on and maybe just be the pest up top and try and bother and slow down Punahou as much as possible. Deloso-Flocco. Good job by Espinoza winning that. Now Mounier freed up in space. Sears just found the right angle. Now Kozaki to Sumibkai. It's a couple of options out wide left. Now in space. He does indeed find Deloso-Flocco. Baldwin pushing forward, nobody on the back post. Withy Berry comes to get it. Quick distribution out wide for Chang. Sears, very composed. Well done to find Berry. Berry, long diagonal ball. Deloso-Flocco. Couple of runners as options. They'll work 1v1. Ball played to Souza. Good first touch. Weaving. Souza. And a Baldwin billboard season. The Bears.
Wow.
3-1. Souza. Magical.
Their first showcase of soccer there. It started with their right back on the dispossession with Sears, connecting to Barry in the midfield with that long diagonal ball across to Deloso-Flocco. And he did well to dance a couple of players and a great ball into Souza. Just kind of hanging around on top of the box in individual effort to get behind and tuck that ball away. But the first showcase there of good quality soccer that Coach Kane Palazzato is looking from his Baldwin Bears. But off the run of play, I think really the first opportunity besides that first half goal by Deloso-Flocco.
I believe their first shot on goal all half. Punahou looking to respond right back. Still loose. It's going to be out for a Baldwin goal kick.
But that was beautiful soccer. I mean, really, from the midfield here, connecting through Barry with that long ball across the park and a good finish.
And it had been overruled. It'll instead be a Punahou corner kick. The AR had pointed for a goal kick, but it's going to be a corner. Souza down cramping. He's back to his feet. 4 minutes plus for Punahou, needing 2 goals. Mounier can provide it in an instant. Service. Quality. Up high. Cleared out only as far as Espinoza, and he couldn't get on top of the redirect back toward goal. Moore right in the mix. Daniel Souza, a goal in the 78th minute yesterday. Iced it in the 2-0 victory against Kapolei. His goal, 70-plus minutes into this semifinal. Could it be the one that punches Baldwin's ticket back to the state semifinal? First time in 25 years. Souza's sister Ashley, outstanding for the Baldwin girls program in her day, now playing over at Chaminade. What a ball for Mounier. Guzman closed down and then won by Haas.
Mounier, what a good ball in. Opportunity to put one in. Who knows what happens?
78th minute, a goal here could really make things interesting. We'll wait to hear how much time may be added on. Tom, another strong punch, came out with a lot of conviction. Huge having to stretch out.
That same type of service that was done previously to test Tom.
Back post cleared off the line. Punahou nearly pulled one back. Kozaki hanging out on that back post, and he was right in the right spot. Espinoza now to whip it in. He goes back post, and it skims off of Van de Vender. Three really quality balls in as we move into the 79th minute. Jonathan Saito comes back on for Baldwin. We get the word about 3 additional minutes roughly added on to the 80.
Yeah, now with Baldwin, you know, they've got 2 of their players on the back line with yellow cards here. They've got to be smart. They've got a 2-goal lead, you know, so nothing as, no silly fouls given. You know, they've got to be able to move their feet, not dive in to the Punahou players that are going to look to press and get behind. They're going to look to draw some fouls.
And Baldwin brought Saito back on, took Sears off, the right back. They moved Kozaki to that spot at outside back. Now Souza. Saito onside. Finds Souza. And Sumibkai calling for it. They couldn't find him. Now Barry in midfield. Good touch away. Finds Cummings. Souza, the goal scorer. Baldwin possessing here. Saito frees up Souza. He's got Deloso-Flocco waiting back post. The diagonal ball in. Deloso trying to pick out a runner. He's got Hogan. Hogan, the shot. Put it wide. It was parried wide. Withy Berry got a fingertip to it. 80th minute. And Baldwin can take their time here.
Yeah, Souza really coming into form in the last 20 minutes. You know, just composed, able to control the pace of play. And I'm surprised that Baldwin's not looking to play a short corner and keep the ball in this near the corner versus lumping that ball in. And they're still sending players in there.
Saito to serve it in. Top of the 6. Cleared out. Barry comes to get it. Now he'll find Saito. Touch heavy. Chang trying to win it back from Barry. But it's out for a Baldwin throw. Again, word unofficially, about 2.5 minutes of added time left. 3 minutes plus the 80. Saito let that run. Kobe Saito that was for Punahou. Jonathan Saito for Baldwin challenging. Buff and blue. Maybe a couple of minutes left, but they need 2. Hogan on the header up to Deloso. Punahou looking to break. Saito thought about it. Will come. Took a deflection. There was Saito again, aggressive and out for a Baldwin throw. Maybe a minute and a half remaining. Sears comes back on. Baldwin has not been to a state final since 1993. The MIL collectively has not been to a state final since 1994, where Maui High fell in the championship match. Their goalkeeper that year, none other than Kane Palazato, 15-year head coach now for the Bears. But work left to do. Punahou, with all of this quality, can they pull one back, give themselves an opportunity? Williams, great touch. A second. A loft towards the back post and Sears. Mounier, he'll curl one. Mounier has just been everywhere. The 9th Punahou shot of this half.
Yeah, just look at Mounier's jersey. You know, he's been all over the place. Ball comes to him and hit well. He's got the right idea, just a bit wide. But look at Mounier, his effort. You know, he was definitely the motor for Punahou tonight. You know, working his tail off both offensively, defensively. He's played quite a few balls nicely in. He's dribbled in nicely as well to create chances. Just not able to get those goals.
Baldwin, which got to the semifinal round a year ago, losing to Kaiser 1-0 in the semifinal. The knock against Baldwin the last couple of years has been their inability to put goals away. Lo and behold, here in 2018, 5 goals in their 2 matches so far at the state tournament. Will it be enough?
No, and they've got a quality senior class that has been to the quarters on the semis, and now tomorrow to a championship match.
The Baldwin storybook season. Not done yet. The final chapter to come in the Bears. 3-1 victors. Off to the state championship match for the first time in a quarter century.
It'll be an all-Neighbor Island affair tomorrow at Waipio.
We'll have a first-time Neighbor Island champ in Division I, an all-Neighbor Island final in Division II. What a wild ride this has been. We'll be back to wrap things up. The Bears through to the championship match. Well, it's been a historic year here in 2018. A lot of firsts at the Boys State Soccer Championships presented by the Queens Medical Center. Baldwin, their first state final in 25 years. Hawaii Prep already through to the final for the first time at the Division I level. We'll have a Neighbor Island champ for the first time in Division I. It's been a wild ride. And Punahou, the 2-time defending champ, they fall to Baldwin 3-1 in this second semi-final. Back with Brent Murakami, Jordan Helly. We'll check in with Jimmy Bender in just a second. But Brent, this Baldwin squad, the early goal really seemed to boost their confidence, and then they had enough defense to keep this potent Punahou attack at bay. Buff and Blue, a number of chances, just could not put that goal away in the second half to tie it up, and then the late Souza goal.
Yeah, they've capitalized on their opportunities because they were minimal in the first half. 2 goals from 2 shots. You know, and Punahou had the majority of the possession throughout the entire match. They've had opportunities, but Baldwin just, you know, capitalized when it mattered. You know, and credit to the Baldwin defense. They held tight. You know, Tom was in the right area at the right times, and Punahou just couldn't find the back of the net.
3-1 the victors for Baldwin. One of the goal scorers, Angelo Deloso-Flocco, is standing by as our impact player with Jimmy Bender. Jimmy.
Hey, thanks a lot, Jordan and Brent. Yeah, Angelo, first off, the 2 early goals kind of set the tone for you guys and kind of helped write it for you. How did you guys get those goals so quickly and so easily?
Oh, we just told ourselves we're going to come out hard because we knew they're the state champions before, and we wanted to just get some in quick on them and try to, I don't know, get us on the board and try to get some hype and just get us on there.
You've seen the Bruno Mars video for Finesse, yeah?
Yeah.
Where he's dressed up in the old-timey, the 90s clothes. The last time you guys won a championship, or you were in a state final, we were all wearing clothes like that. What does it feel like to be back in a state final for your school after so long?
It definitely feels good. We're definitely happy about that. We were definitely thinking that our team had it this year, and we knew that we could make it. We just had to put it together and play as a team.
Well, in honor of that, I'll wear my cross colors clothes tomorrow night. Jordan, you know what I'm talking about. No, wait, you're too young, Jordan, too. Let's send it back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy holds it down for us to make sure we keep it historically accurate. Some highlights for Angelo Deloso-Flocco. The goal was huge. That second goal really tilted the scales in a match that was pretty even. Hawes, the score early. But this goal right here for Baldwin, I think, the belief started to set in reality for the Bears.
Yeah, capitalizing on Espinosa's mistake, you know, for that second goal, and then he's setting up that third goal to Souza was huge for them.
For Baldwin, it's been a dream season so far, and they will get Hawaii Prep couple of Cinderellas, if you will, in the state championship match tomorrow. We'll step away, come back, get you our play of the game, and set the table for tomorrow as well. Championship doubleheader coming your way on Spectrum OC 16. We'll be back to wrap things up here on Spectrum XCast. Baldwin 3-1 onto the state championship match. Back with you in Waipio. A lot of stretching for the Baldwin Bears. They still got one more match in the championship bracket, and it will be for all the marbles tomorrow. 7 p.m. coming your way on Spectrum OC 16. The Bears 3-1 victors over Punahou in this second semifinal. Let's get right into our Hawaii Honda Dealers play of the game. And some quality, Brent, for Baldwin, especially that final goal.
Yeah, the build-up. The build-up to that. You know, here we see the last two passes, the pass and the shot, but that build-up, it started at midfield, all the way across through a couple of players, to Deloso-Flocco, to Souza, and a good finish there. Good composure to get by those two Punahou defenders and putting that ball away.
Souza's played the role of finisher, literally and figuratively. 2 goals in 2 matches here at the state tournament. In two-goal victories, he had that goal to create the late separation, a 78th minute goal yesterday in the quarterfinal against Kapolei, and then a late one here against Punahou to sort of seal the deal for the Bears. And this has been a team for Baldwin that is going to look to climb to the top of the mountain, but they're going to have to go through Hawaii Prep. We will step away, come back, really set that table for tomorrow. 2 really intriguing matchups in both Division II and Division I. Updated brackets when we return out in Waipio. Hawaii Prep and Baldwin through to the final. Back with you in Waipio, Jordan Helly, Brent Murakami. An updated look at the Division II brackets here at the Queens Medical Center. State Soccer Championships, Kamehameha Hawaii in penalties, 4-3 over Pac-5. That was a thriller, maybe the best match of the day. They take on 2-seed Kapa'a, the Warriors 4-0 victors over McKinley in the early semifinal here at the Waipio Soccer Stadium. That will be our 5 p.m. match in our championship doubleheader coming your way as we move things over to Spectrum OC 16, channel 1012 tomorrow. And then at 7 p.m., at least that's the scheduled start time. Who knows how long that Division II final will go. It will be Baldwin and Hawaii Prep in the championship match. The Bears, a pair of 2-goal victories, 2-0 over Kapolei yesterday afternoon, 3-1 over Punahou tonight, and then Hawaii Prep, a late Jake Schneider goal, 3-2 over King K. Kaolike. It'll be the biggest day in Big Island soccer history tomorrow at the prep level, with both Kamehameha Hawaii and Hawaii Prep going for state championships. Baldwin, the first MIL team since 1994 to advance to a state final. This has been a historic year in 2018, and we still got 2 more matches coming your way tomorrow, Brandon. You can't wait for it.
I think we're in for a lot of goals scored tomorrow from both of our matches. It's going to be high energy, like you said, history on the line for especially the Division I game. You know, Hawaii Prep looking to come up from Division II to win a state title at Division I. Then the following year, that's amazing in itself. And then here Baldwin getting an opportunity to be in this state championship game for over 25 years.
Yeah, unbelievable run so far here at the state soccer tournament. You just never see teams jump from D2 to D1. We saw it Kalaheo boys basketball, but it rarely happens in Hawaii Prep. A chance to pull that double, if you will, tomorrow as we rejoin you from the Waipio Soccer Complex. Again, a reminder, our championship doubleheader starting at 5 p.m. Kapa'a, the KIF champs, taking on Kamehameha Hawaii from the BIIF, and also from the Big Island. Hawaii Prep looking to win a 3rd straight state title, the first in Division I. They'll take on Baldwin, the MIL champs, scheduled for 7 p.m. For Jimmy Bender, Brent Murakami, the rest of the hardworking folks here at Spectrum XCast, we will see you tomorrow as championship month concludes with a pair of championship matches from State Boys Soccer. Have a great rest of your Friday evening, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow back here in Waipio. Aloha.
This live sports presentation was proudly brought to you by Enjoy Snacks, IBEW Local 1186 and its unionized electrical contractors, and Hawaii Honda Dealers. Thanks for watching Spectrum XCast, your home for the most extensive coverage of live sports. If you would like to purchase a DVD copy of this event please visit the shopping section of our website, oc16.tv. High school sports exclusively on Spectrum XCast.